Yeah, it is an episode of the Autumn Windbags. RJ Clifford, Juan Soto. Let's have some fun today. In prime time, baby. Sunday night football. Second game as head coach, interim head coach Antonio Pierce. Third game as starting quarterback, Aiden, a.k.a. Farva O'Connell. Raiders battle back to 500. Farva is now 2-1 as a starter. Antonio Pierce 2-0 as head coach. And the Jets fall to the Las Vegas Raiders 16-12 in a game that was just as ugly as we thought it would be. But you can put as much lipstick as you want on this pig because I am making out with it. Raiders are back to 500, one game out of the 7th seed in the AFC playoff picture.
Feels good, man. It feels really good. That freaking pig, I'm a little bit more dark with it. I'm going to get behind it and choke it.
Yeah.
Shove that apple in its mouth. We're roasting that sucker. Party time.
There was a couple disappointing elements, a couple elements that were very good, but more or less what we expected. Rough offensively for both teams. Only 18 total first downs in this entire game. The Jets actually outgained the Raiders, 365 yards to 274 yards. 22 total drives, 11 per, only 4.4 yards per play for the Raiders, 5.8 for the Jets. But it was the crucial, there's a couple chunk plays that turned it around for the Raiders. Josh Jacobs had a 40-yard run.
Huge run, man.
Huge run. DeAndre Carter had a big return that put us in field goal range. And that was exactly the type of game we were expecting, where all it took was, 2 or 3 important plays to sway the game one way or the other. Zach Wilson actually had one of his best games of the season, despite a late turnover that didn't quite seal the deal, but was mighty crippling. Raiders lost the turnover battle. We gave the ball away twice, only took the ball once, still able to walk away with a 4-point win.
This is what we needed to have happen. It was a big test for us. Defensively, the Jets are no joke, man. They do this to a lot of teams. Yep. They've held a lot of teams to a lot less than 16 points. So I don't want for us to think like, oh man, our offense sucks, this and that. No. This defense is that good. They fly around that well. And for us to go down there and score that touchdown late and play the way we did, it's a big boost because we know we can count on the other side of the ball. Offense can say, yeah, man, if we don't get the job done, if we turn the ball over, we can count on our defense to make sure it's, only a field goal. Defense, and if we're, maybe letting the guys, move the ball a little bit too much, where the offense can pick us up. So this is a big test, and we passed it.
I'm very glad you brought up what the Jets have been able to do to other really good offenses and really good quarterbacks, like 4 potential Hall of Fame quarterbacks. I did some math. I started mathing, got out the TI-83 calculator. Quarterback rating versus the Jets defense this season. Justin Herbert, 41.1 QBR. It's too early to call him a Hall of Famer, but certainly a fantastic quarterback. You and I think very highly of him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, marching on his way to potential Hall of Fame-ishness.
He's probably going to be maybe top 3 MVP this year. Guy's balling.
Jets defense held him to a 45.1 QBR. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl champion. He was held to 59.7 QBR. Patrick Mahomes, for sure, he's already a Hall of Famer, despite his career not even being half over. He was held to 73.8. Aiden O'Connell, rookie Aiden O'Connell, third start of his NFL career, Aiden O'Connell. Brand new rookie play caller, offensive coordinator, Aiden O'Connell. Brand new interim head coach, Aiden O'Connell. Missing your best offensive lineman, Aiden O'Connell. Had a 76.4 QBR after his touchdown pass to Mayer. It ended up being 72. But he had basically the same QBR against this defense as Patrick Mahomes and exceedingly better than Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert. Now, tomorrow and moving forward, there's a lot of things on the film that Aiden O'Connell needs to work on. But for just tonight and tonight only, we are popping champagne for Farva and what he was able to do against one of the best defenses in football, one of the best front lines or one of the best front sevens in football. He outplayed Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, and basically the same as Patrick freaking Mahomes.
Let's give a little bit of love to the second half of that offensive line run blocking. They stepped up, man. I said it at halftime. The offensive line has been killing drives, either getting no push or just getting railroaded on first down. And we're in 2nd and 11, 2nd and 10. Mm-hmm. And I said, dude, like, I understand that Williams is a special player, but you can't get your ass kicked every single play.
Yeah.
You at least get a stalemate every once in a while, And their double team started working a little bit better. They incorporated the tight ends on the underneath instead of just over the top. And man, it was a good. I think they only ran like 2 different run plays. Honestly, the second half. Okay, what's working? Okay, we're gonna do that, and that's it. And
it was great adjustments in the second half, running off the edge, right? Little quick passes outside. Off
defensively, have a spy on Zach Wilson on third down so he can't rush. I mean, they did a basic things, a couple of good things, and just let your talent go, let your talent play.
Sam A, thank you so much for the super chat. First one of the night. You get the congratulations. Wasn't gonna drink, but Johnny Walker came calling. Yeah, Johnny Walker's a celebratory beverage because you're gonna be hungover the next day.
I wasn't going to drink either, but I don't have to go to work tomorrow because I'm driving my mom's car to Sun City, Arizona tomorrow, and I'm flying back tomorrow night.
That's a trek.
So I have a little bit of extra time to make it a double, sweetheart. I got a long drive.
Keep it coming, sweets. I got a long drive. Want to do me a favor? Wash off that perfume if you come to my table. Where's that movie from? Let us know in the comments.
You want to do me a favor? Just eat that outside. Eat the rest of that outside.
Extra income. So with Aiden O'Connell, that touchdown pass to Michael Mayer, it's only Aiden O'Connell's third start of his career. He's only played like 14 quarters total, but that's the best play of his career so far. Goal line, I think it was second and goal. I think it was second and goal. Drops back, first read, covered. Second read, covered, pressure. He does what he hasn't been doing so far this season. He's getting better, and you can tell by this move. Felt the pressure, avoided it.
Slid to the side.
Mr. Feet in Cement. He's a statue. He'll get killed back there. Felt the pressure, didn't panic, avoided it, rolled out to his right, and threw the ball just over the defender. We're only 6'4", Michael Mayer, 6'3",
6'5",
6'5", more than our point guard height. Tight end can catch it. Beautiful play by him. Made the correct reads, felt the pressure, moved his feet. Fucking dime right there.
Where, Jar?
First pass. I think that's his first passing touchdown of his career, right?
Yeah, he had a rush touchdown against
first passing touchdown of his career, and it was beautiful. Best play of his career.
This thing is that play there encapsulates what the strengths are of both Farva and Mayer. Mm-hmm. Mayer is I've been trying to tell you guys for a long time that Mayer is a playmaker. I saw him put up big numbers against USC with some pretty poor quarterback play over the years at Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. And he's that dude, man. We've seen him go over go over 2 guys and snatch the ball out of the air, hand catch it all the way to the ground. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Jumps over a guy, snatches it away, mossed the dude, right?
Yeah.
Got his feet in, got down. It was an awesome play by both guys. What we needed to see from both of these guys to kind of give the rest of the league a little bit of like, oh crap, like we can't just double team Davante anymore in the red zone.
Yeah.
We got to make sure that we account for this guy too, because that was a special play.
I'm going to give props to the O-line tonight. We were texting back and forth and you were critical of them. Aiden O'Connell got sacked 3 times in pass protection. Considering they got 8 sacks last week, considering we were without Colton Miller, considering it got jumbled around like big time for the first time this season and how good of the defensive front they were going against, I thought this offensive line played above expectation. Still need to do better. Still got to pass protect better, especially with a rookie quarterback, especially one that's not a mobile quarterback. Not that they shouldn't and have to do better. Mm-hmm. But I think considering the type of defense we were playing, they performed better than I expected, specifically in the second half.
In the second half, for sure. The first half was a little iffy. We were able to move the ball somewhat. There was a couple of, one or two penalties that kind of killed drives. It was the early downs that was really killing us, leaving us with longer, late downs. But the second half, it was a stark change. They were after the first drive. After that, they were doing much better. Got that long run by Josh Jacobs. He wasn't even touched until when he got tackled
down the field,
40 yards down the field, right? But yeah, it's the double teams were working. They were scraping off nice. They were passing off guys. So it was good work by these guys. It was good work for that front. That front is no joke, man. That's a good defensive front.
Early on, the fact that we were only down 9-6 going into the half should be considered a win because it looked like we were getting thoroughly outplayed, but we were only down a touchdown. Two things kept us in that first half. Penalties. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm saying this. Maybe the first time these words have ever been uttered on the Autumn Windbags. But the refs kept this game close for us in the first half. There were some pretty ticky-tacky penalties that went against the Jets. Total, they had 8 penalties for 83 yards. The Raiders had 3 for 25. I don't think I've ever said those words. That in the first half, the refs were kind of ticky-tacky against the Jets. And our punting game. The battle of field position kept this game penalties, and the battle of field position kept this game close. Another half game ball for AJ Cole.
AJ Cole has to get a game ball for this game, dude. This is what I talked about. The one time we gave them a short field, our defense stepped up huge and held them to a field goal. I mean, they basically got the ball in the red zone. It was like right outside the red zone. So big ups to the defense. AJ Cole pitting them back every single time. It's like we were getting delay of game calls just to give us more room for AJ Cole to punt. Mm-hmm. He was that on fire today.
He was 5 total punts, 50-yard average. He had 3 inside the 20 and a 63-yarder. That average would be probably 5 to 7 yards further if he didn't have a bunch where he would just kind of just put him, try to pull it back a little bit in the end zone. He absolutely won us the battle of field position throughout this entire game. Thomas Reynolds, thank you for being a member. Michael Mayer, congrats. That touchdown was beast. I was also super critical in the beginning of this game. So let's not dismiss Soto's thoughts with RJ's pregame negativity. I feel like my pregame concerns were pretty valid. I think it played out like the things I was worried about more or less played out. The O-line, again, exceeded expectations, but still Aiden was under a lot of pressure. That was a problem. Oh, the other thing.
I was worried about the secondary, and it proved to be a bit of an issue today.
The other big thing I was looking at, we had 3 things that I had going into this game that I was looking at. Breece Hall hurting us, which he did. He had a good game. Let me get his exact numbers.
His rushing wasn't that great, but he receiving the ball. He had some
yeah,
nice
he had a 35-yarder that put him in field goal range. That was big. Yeah, he didn't rush that ball well, but he was catching the ball well. And the other big thing that I was looking at that we didn't really get to see against the Giants because the game got out of hand on our end early. I was very curious how Antonio Pierce was going to be in those critical head coaching moments. I'm totally down for his style of coaching to be very democratic. They're talking about how Josh Jacobs got 10 to 12 plays this week. What do you like? What do you don't like? Let us know. Going to his coordinators and his position coaches. What should we do? Who do you like? Who should we start? Totally down for it. Great. If that's some tyrants work, right? Some collaborators work. We know that he's a great motivator. We know that players love him. Can he be a good head coach in those critical moments when you don't have time to address the committee, right? You can't gather Congress around to decide, are you throwing the challenge flag? Are you calling a timeout? Are you going for it on 4th and 1? You just can't. You just don't have time. You have to be a tyrant in those moments and make those snap decisions. He did fantastic today in those moments. There was one big critical error when he threw the challenge flag on the turnover when you can't, right? You saw like when it's a turnover, it's automatically challenged. So he threw the challenge flag and it cost us a timeout. So that was a bonehead move. You saw they shot up a picture of Robert Saleh when he did it. He's like got this like smug smile on his face. He's like, rookie, you forgot. He'll never do that again. He'll never make that mistake ever again. The best thing for head coaches is to make those new head coach mistakes in wins. I remember in high school, you remember had to learn the states and capitals? I got 49 out of 50. I busted my butt, studied. I got 49 out of 50.
Who'd you screw up?
I forgot the capital of Missouri.
Springfield?
Jefferson City.
Fuck Jefferson City.
This was 24 years ago. I will never forget the capital of Missouri for the rest of my life because I screwed it up that day in like sophomore year of high school. Antonio Pierce will never make that mistake again, throwing the challenge flag on a turnover. And that was really the only critical error. When he wanted to go out on 4th and short, it converted. When he didn't want to go for it on 4th down, it was a great punt, one field position. Didn't waste timeouts. There was no like personnel brain fart.
No delay of game, like having to take a timeout.
None of those
Everything
things.
was smooth. Everything was clean.
Everything was smooth in a super tight game in prime time against, I think, a very, very, very good head coach in Robert Saleh. One brain fart, which he'll never make again, that really didn't, all it cost us was one timeout. Everything else out of Antonio Pierce, freaking solid.
Can we talk a little bit about that fake tush push?
I would love.
Oh my God. What was that? That was such a freaking sweet play. It worked to perfection. It was executed perfectly. The right guy got the ball. Who do you want to be in the open field on a broken play? You want your punt returner. That's who you want. You want your guy who's used to that. And it was a gutsy call. It was a good call. And I don't know that you normally have two small wide receivers behind to push. Normally we like more tight ends or bigger guys, right? So that could have given it away a little bit. But man, that was great execution. And what a call by Coach Bo, man.
15 yards when all we needed was 1.5.
What a call.
And it was very much the theme, right? In the second half, let's get off the edge a little bit more, running up the middle, not, going against these all-pro defensive tackles isn't going well for us. It continued kind of the theme of Bo Hardege's adjustments in the second half. Corey, thank you for the super chat. Very, very much. What do you guys give Farva today? Ranked 1 out of 10. Early prediction for the Miami game.
I give him a 6+. I think he missed a couple of throws downfield. The interception he got baited in. He got baited into that. The guy was sitting there waiting for it.
I think he thought he was going to keep falling back into coverage, and he got sold.
I think he thought that Davante was going to cut a little bit more down, a little bit more across field than he did, and he was banking on Davante getting to the point.
Yeah,
and he did more of a slant instead of an in, and the defensive back made a good play. But I would give him a solid 6+. Now, there's a couple of things. One of the sacks, he should have gotten the ball out. He should have thrown the ball out. Look, the reason why grading it so harshly is because of the defense we were playing against. You can't make those types of mistakes against this type of defense. He missed a couple of guys downfield. That interception throw was rough, especially in your own end, like basically giving them the ball in the red zone.
Yeah.
Mentally, I didn't see him make any mistakes. Really, I have to take a look at the film, but I didn't see him make too many mistakes as far as protection-wise. I thought that was good. I thought his checks were good. I thought he handled the offense really well today. But there was a couple of mistakes that would have made things a little bit easier for him. The touchdown play was amazing. Again, look, I think we throw away. It's not a freaking boxing round, right? It's not a 10-point must system. Like, you don't have to give a guy a 10 because he was the best quarterback of the week, right? Mm-hmm. Although Dobbs probably could have gotten a 10 with Minnesota. He played really well again today. But I would say a solid 6+. And I think for 16 points scored against that defense, a 6+ is pretty good.
That Minnesota game's looking tougher and tougher every week.
Dobbs is freaking good, man. That guy is good.
I don't have too much more to add. I think you hit the nail on the head, Soto. I think all things, like I said, at the very top of the show, new head coach, rookie 4th rounder, only 3rd start of his career, new offensive coordinator, not having Colton Miller, the defense that they're playing against. If you incorporate all those things, you can start saying, 7, 8, like overcoming and winning, overcoming all those things, I think starts bumping up your grade a little bit. But he said it best. He's like, no one cares what issues you have. No one cares what excuses, however valid, even if their reasons, not excuses. All that matters is production. His production was just 16 of 27 for 153 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 3 sacks. Nothing great by pure production, below average, but everything he was going against to get the win, especially like I mentioned, they had basically the same QBR as Patrick Mahomes against this defense. Better than Josh Allen, better than Jalen Hurts. Like, that means something. So I think
before we start talking
matters.
before we start talking crap, let's just realize who he did this against. Mm-hmm. And he had his best offensive lineman not playing.
It's like we say every time, right? What's the phrase here? Do not ignore in victory what you would critique in defeat. He has plenty of things to work on, and that's the best case scenario. If you know exactly what you need to work on and still get the W, this is great. I mean, he's only getting better. Like, he had the best play of his career, and that touchdown pass to Michael Mayer, freaking beautiful. He did 3 things in that play that he normally doesn't. It was great. Thomas Reynolds, thank you for being a member. You guys can join. Click the join button. Saddle up, partners. The fake tush push was amazing. Oh my God. Did I almost nut being so excited? Bo knows.
Got to keep a wet nap handy, baby. Got to keep a wet nap handy.
What was the most nuttable moment of the game for you?
That touchdown pass, dude. That just the whole thing. Because it was the slide to the side, that little sling, and it was in the perfect window he needed to get it to. Mm-hmm. You couldn't tell they'd done that in practice a bunch. Because it was like, he didn't even have to think about it. He saw the guy in front of him. He's like, oh, dude, that guy's like 6 inches shorter.
Yeah.
Flipped it up there, and Mayer just rose up and just snatched away from that dude. For me, was I hate saying this over and over again, but man, Mayer needs to get the ball more. He is such a weapon at tight end, and Spillane is a lot better than I think people gave him credit for. I was saying it since we signed him. Like, I watched Cape on the guy since he took over. Maybe when he was a backup and just rotating in and out, he wasn't all that great. But the last maybe 4 games of the season last year with Pittsburgh, he did really well. So imagine having the head coach play your position and just coaching you and believing in you and knowing that you can do it, and all the confidence you get from that. And intercepting a pass with a hand, he didn't like cradle it in his arm. He caught it with a broken hand.
If defensive coordinators have to start scheming around our rookie tight end on top of Devante Adams, on top of Jacoby Myers, on top of Josh Jacobs, on top of Hunter Renfrow,
he's not getting targets, man. But what have we seen from this kid that can tell you that he can be a playmaker? Mm-hmm. When you see those flash plays that he makes, so it's not like he drops easy plays or he doesn't make easy plays. But when he jumped over a linebacker with a safety coming over the top, and he wrestled the ball away from 2 guys with the hand catching in the end zone, plucks the ball up, holds it over his head, falls down, touchdown. Those are playmaker type plays. Those aren't like, oh, I'm a blocker and I can catch the ball when I'm open. Like, he's a freaking playmaker, man.
Bo knows shirts gonna start flying off the shelves. I feel like there's a Hardee's cross branding opportunity here. Like Hardy, it's just like his face on the Hardee's logo. We're out west where it's called Carl's Jr., right? But back east, it's Hardee's.
Hardee's hits different, man. The breakfast little biscuits hit different. I was in Tennessee. Ooh, they're delicious.
That's just because you're in the South. The biscuits are just better out there.
The mayonnaise, they're a lot more liberal with the mayonnaise over there.
Thomas Reynolds, you're the man. Thank you so much for super chats.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, dude.
Great beard too, by the way. Space Beast, it's a tough schedule ahead, but do we play better D? Again, we're playing some of the worst offenses in football. So that's important. Like we talk about, if we're going to give Aiden O'Connell a wide berth because the defenses we're playing, we're going to do the same thing for our defense, that we're playing the worst defenses in football. Giants, Jets, Pats, Bears, some awful defenses. But that's what you're supposed to do, is when you play an awful defense, step up and improve a little bit. I think this is probably the worst game of Maxx Crosby's season so far. I think there's much doubt there. I was very underwhelmed by Maxx Crosby. Actually, our entire pass rush really wasn't that great. We only got to Zach Wilson twice. Zach Wilson was able to escape containment multiple times. We lost the turnover battle. We got one. It was clutch, right? Robert Spillane's clutch interception. But on the turnover margin, we lost 2-1. Defense held him to 12, which is great. But again, it's one of those situations where I think there's a lot of things on tape to improve on.
I don't know what it is about Maxx Crosby getting juked out by like white boy quarterbacks. But
remember Josh Allen's on him? That was
and Josh Allen wasn't the bad one. No, the bad one was Herbert, dude. Herbert got him nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it just look, this is going to happen. He's not going to get 3 sacks every single game. He's not going to end nobody gets 25 sacks a year, 20 even. He's trending in the right direction. He's got 9.5, a little more than halfway through the season. So he'll get that 15, 16 mark, 17 mark. That's a good season. But it was the secondary, man. I mean, we pressured Zach Wilson. We got him out of the pocket and got him running. He made a lot of plays on broken plays. So I don't want to crap on the defensive line too bad, because they were getting through. It's just we gotta, sometimes you get home and sometimes you don't. We're still getting pressures.
Zach Wilson's been sacked the second most of any quarterback in the NFL. I think it was an underperformance by the defensive line tonight.
It wasn't their best performance. I agree with that. Let's see.
Right when Maxx Crosby had like defensive player of the year momentum kind of going his way. You know what I mean? It's like prime time. I think Fox gave him like defensive player of the year midway through the season. Like he was starting to creep into that like Bosa, like in that conversation more and more. This was his chance to like really drive it home. Didn't really happen.
Vito, I just wanted to tell you, all the top defensive linemen get double teamed every play.
It's true.
Every single defense. Joey, freaking Bosa's, both Bosa's, Nick, Joey, all the top defensive linemen, they get double teamed every single play. So it is what it is.
Did Zach Wilson have a good game by his standards? 23 of 39, 263 yards, only got sacked twice. No touchdowns in that pick. He was still Zach Wilson at the end.
Yeah, that was Zach Wilson. So okay, we are playing Miami next week. Now, this is a little bit deceiving because they score a lot. So their defense gets thrown back on the field a lot. And they score quickly.
Yeah.
But they're 25th in the league in points allowed. They've allowed quite a few points.
Mm-hmm.
As far as rushing, keep talking. I got you.
Are we looking ahead already?
No, and someone asked, what defenses are we playing next? It's kind of difficult to say. It's still pretty rough. They're about 25th in passing yards allowed, and they are 15th in rushing. So it kind of goes along with it when they jump on teams, they stop running the ball and they throw the ball more.
Yeah.
So it's a little deceiving. I think their defense is okay. I think their defense is made to look a little bit better than it actually is, or a little bit worse than it actually is, because they're on the field a lot, because their offense scores so quickly. The offense makes that whole thing run.
Josh Jacobs had, in one way, the best game of his season. He got over 4 yards per carry, 27 carries, 116 yards. It's 4.3 yard average, highest so far. A big chunk of that was his 40-yarder, which he broke, which was, let's give credit to the O-line when it's due. That was just a great hole. And, good read. Explosive got him through. Juked like had to like quarter juke one defender to break it out. But then he dropped the ball in that play. Thank God it fell out of bounds. And then he had that fumble in the fourth quarter that we lost. Very un-JJ-like. It was a very un-JJ-like game today where he wasn't that big in the passing game, which was kind of surprising to me. He had over 100 yards for the first time this season, but then put the ball on the turf twice and lost one of them.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal, brother. We got 7 games left. Okay. Mm-hmm. If JJ gives us this for 7 games, he's right back where he was last year. You know, he's about the fumbles. He's about 1,300. He's about 1,300 yards. Okay. Mm-hmm. The fumbles, he's just trying to make stuff happen, dude. He's trying to push the pile. It was an inopportune time. There was a couple of swings in the game. One swing was after that long run, and he got the ball punched out. Jacobs did, and it went out of bounds. I was like, oh God, that was what a Jets thing to happen, you know? Like you make a great play as a defensive back, you run the ball carrier down, and you punch the ball out, and it just knocks off of his knee and goes out of bounds. You know, that's what a Jets thing to have happen. The other one was after we score the touchdown, they get in like field goal range in like 2 plays. They're like right back, and they're like, oh my God, I can't even enjoy this, you know? It's like, you know, you make that perfect sandwich, the bread is toasted just right, the perfect amount of mayo and mustard. You got lettuce, you got a turkey piled high with a little bit of avocado in there, maybe. Slice of cheese, you're ready to eat. You got the Doritos and then whatever Gatorade you got to drink, and you sit down, and then the doorbell rings. You're like, man, I was just about to eat. So you couldn't even enjoy the long run of the touchdown pass because in 2 plays, they're right back on like the 30-yard line.
And it's the Amway lady. You're like, ugh, son of a B word. Thomas Reynolds, did the defense get better when Amik came out? Love Amik, but he does give up big plays. Amik Robertson, well, first off, that was a scary hit. Like when he was down, when he, you know, that
knee,
hit the knee of that player. Well, it's down, but he was doing this with his hands. You know, when you start getting like the lobster claws where like you're nervous, like your brain shut off, so everything stiffens. Like he was doing that. And you saw, I think it was Peters, like immediately, like you saw his eyes, like close it on him. He's waving, you know when it's bad when the player immediately
he's jumping up and down, waving him in,
waving the trainer, and his eyes are like saucers. He's just like,
freaking me. RJ and I have seen that like up close in person way too many times to count, you know. Mm-hmm. And we know when it's like, oh, that guy's gonna be fine. He got knocked out, but he'll be okay. And we know when it's like, oh boy. When the toes curl and like the leg starts to shake, you're like, oh, that guy's gonna have some damage. Wait a second.
I know which one you're talking about.
Don't you ever.
He's so pissed.
British food is so disgusting. Don't you even think about? You can't even get avocados over there. Don't even start.
Avocados don't grow in the fog.
Grow in the sunshine, baby. It's a Mexican food.
Well, to answer the question, yes, but that's always the weird thing about Amik. He always has to give up a big play early and then plays hard after.
Yeah, he's got to get mad. He's got to get pissed.
Yeah, he has little man syndrome, right? Like you gotta test his manhood. You know what I mean?
Wait. Hang on, sorry.
Frozen beans and toast.
Okay, I dated a British chick in high school, and they ate drippings on toast. You know what that is? It's like drippings on toast. It's like the fat and crap that like falls off of a roast, and they grab it, scoop it up, and they spread it on toast. It's absolutely disgusting.
Well, look, it's not England's fault. Like, Rory finally chiming in.
Get out of here, Rory.
Look, jalapenos don't grow in the fog. Avocados don't grow in the fog. Cayenne peppers don't grow in the fog. Like you can't. Like it's not England's fault. Your food sucks because nothing is good there.
You know what? I'm not gonna hate on beef fat.
That's why they're just like eating lamb.
London Raiders. When the Raiders play in London, I'm gonna go and you take me to a good spot. All right.
That's why England just copies America's version of Mexican food. Indian food. Indian food in England is just Mexican food in America. It's like, let's get some spicy, cheap, quick 3 a.m. to settle my stomach after 17 whiskeys diarrhea food. But it's just a worse version of Mexican
nice
food.
Curry, though.
It's great.
A little coconut milk curry. Ooh, that's good stuff.
It's just a foggy rain version of Mexican food. Indian food. It's the exact same thing.
Okay, wait. I want to make sure this is documented. Bam.
You're on. That is a binding contract. Legally binding contract across international waters. Done deal. Speaking of Rory, remember that text he gave us on our text chain? He's texting. I mean, I don't get the exact verbiage down because this text chain's been going on like 10 years, but this was the best one we've had ever.
What did he say?
This was at 8:14 Pacific Standard Time when in the fourth quarter, the second to last drive by the Jets and Zach Wilson's driving. Kind of got a feeling we're going to force a turnover. I have a feeling in my groin. Literally the next play, Spillane picks the ball.
What's next? Read them. What's next?
I said, Rory, tell your wife your groin gets whatever it wants. Soto said, tell your wife to suck the soul out of your groin. I think Rory's groin is something special. We're going to call Rory's groin the oracle.
Tingles for another reason.
Yeah.
This reason it's because, he had some like a premonition.
Right? He thinks with his penis. Like he just got out of puberty. What else did we talk about leading up that was really important? The chunk plays, right? DeAndre Carter, that 32-yard return, put us in field goal range.
Yeah, my big thing was field position. Yeah, we have to make sure we give them long fields. And with that defense, offensively, I said that O'Connell had to get more of those 15 to 18-yard throws. He can't live just dinking and dunking on this defense. You can't do it. And we need to get some good returns to be able to shorten fields for ourselves.
The Josh Jacobs 40-yard run that turned into our only touchdown. Just chunks every now and then, right? I mean, I don't know who I'm more impressed with the last two games, Antonio Pierce or Bo Hardigy. The adjustments that Bo made against this great defense with, a limited, rookie quarterback still getting his feet under him was fantastic. Getting the ball out quick. Hey, we got to lean on Josh Jacobs. It's not working. Instead of running between the tackles, let's go off the edge. Finally got Josh Jacobs his first 100-yard game of the season.
Coach Bo, man, look, let's not.
He's seizing the moment. I think he understands. Like, look, this is my chance. Like, there's a million Bo Hardygys out there in the NFL. Just kind of a guy that played whatever football. No one remembers him.
Understands offenses.
Yeah, like
knows how to attack it.
Not a name out of college, right? Just a whatever Tennessee quarterback. Got just kind of like got under Gase, right? It's like, all right, I gotta hook up. I got somewhere.
Gase, another offensive dude, another good offensive guy. Yeah,
like he'll always kind of have a job, just jumping around the league somewhere. He understands, like, hey, I'm an offensive coordinator now. This is my audition to be a head coach one day, or obviously like a permanent offensive coordinator is what he's looking for short term. But this is how you become an NFL head coach. That's how guys like Bo Hardigy become head coaches, not multiple time Super Bowl champion or, just tied to like Andy Reid's hip, right? And you're just going to get all these opportunities, or tied at Vic Fangio's hip and you're going to get all these opportunities. Nothing like that. It's just like, this is how you do it. You jump on opportunities as they come. He knows it. He's coaching like it.
There's no quicker way for a person to become a head coach than to be the offensive coordinator of a defensive-minded head coach. And then to have your offense,
because you get all the credit.
You get every single bit of it. And let's not discount the impact that the movement pre-snap made on the offense. When they started getting the ball out wide, that little quick pitch play, you've seen they did a couple times, is that quick double-handed like pitch.
Yeah,
that was nice because it got Josh Jacobs out on the edge, and even though he may not have had the numbers, he only had to make one guy miss. So he was going to get 3-4 yards out of that, even if they tackled him right away. Yeah. So these little wrinkles that we're seeing, kind of like when I was screaming about why don't we run a fake jet sweep? You know, like let's run the action and have other plays off of it, so we can, you know, not have the defense just teeing off whenever they see the movement. Right? They had guys moving almost every single run play. They had them moving up and down, just getting guys in better positions to block. It was nice to see somebody be a little bit more cognizant of stacking numbers at the point of attack with movement. Yeah. It was nice. It was subtle, but it was nice.
Who impressed you more today, Antonio Pierce or Bo Hardegay?
That's tough. I think there's nothing against Antonio Pierce, nothing against him and the way he coached today, but I think the wrinkles against this defense, considering we had some limitations, a rookie quarterback, not having our top offensive line. I think it was Bo, man. The adjustments he made to the run game, second half really opened up a lot of plays. That fake tush push there at the end to get.
Wait. You mean offensive coordinators are allowed to make adjustments to their game plan? Is that really?
From what I hear,
I thought that was against the rules, which is why we never did it. I thought it was like a law. Right. Like whatever game plan you come in with, you have to stick to no matter what, and then just blame your players if it doesn't work.
It's like
you're pulling the wool over my eyes, Soto.
It's all these things coming together, right? It's like, I know. It's hard to believe, but there's a lot of things that went into this. Number one, it's the relationship he had with. Bo knows that he needed to get Josh Jacobs going. He knew that he needed to get Josh Jacobs going. Okay, Josh, what are you comfortable with? What's your? We all know what it is. I mean, you and I know what it is. Zone blocking scheme. Like, just do a zone blocking scheme. You can do power zone blocking, which is the double teams, and that's fine. It's another type of zone blocking scheme, right? And the difference is a typical zone blocking scheme is a pass off scheme, right? Where you double team a point and then you pass off. After the inside, let's say the inside offensive lineman takes control or gets the point, then the outside offensive lineman scrapes off to the next level, right? That's like a regular zone blocking scheme. A power zone blocking scheme is we're locked into this guy to double team him and we're pushing him back as far as we can, and whatever happens, right? That's more of a power zone blocking scheme, and that's what we saw them running predominantly the entire game, right? Most of the time. The movement pre-snap, excellent. The communication with your stars, excellent. Little wrinkles, right? Excellent. Like the little pitch play, the toss play to get. Normally, when you have a player who was lined up as close to the quarterback as Josh Jacobs was, you don't get a pitch play from there. Usually they have to be like a little further back from you, right? But that little kind of like chest pass mimicked that same motion, and it was able to allow Jacobs to get to the corner a little bit easier and make himself a little bit more of a threat on the outside. The motion again, the trick plays, it was just a great game plan all around to help everyone just go out there and play. It wasn't overly complicated. It wasn't overly convoluted. Everything worked together. The plays worked together. The motion worked with one stacked one play on another. When you do stuff like that and keep it simple and you execute, the defense can't just pin their ears back and just, this is the motion. This is what they do in this down, boom, like the Dearly Departed did, right? So I think Coach Bo did an excellent job. Nothing to take away from Coach AP. I think he did an excellent job too. But with the limitations that Bo had as far as a rookie quarterback who is getting better, we can see him getting better. This Aiden O'Connell puts up 30 points against the Chargers, right? He doesn't have the fumbles. He doesn't do that. He doesn't. He knows what to do with the ball pre-snap. Maybe this coaching staff against the Chargers first time with Aiden O'Connell wins the game. But yeah, man, I think Coach Bo did a great job today.
Hey, Spivvy, thank you for the super chat. Great catch, by the way. Spivvy, little trick. Surprised you don't know this because you look like a very, very good fisherman. When you have a fish, you don't hold it close to your body when you're taking a picture. You hold it out as far as possible because it makes it look huge. You're holding it too close. That thing will look twice as big. Like, look at my phone, my cell phone. You're like, okay, it's not that big of a cell phone. But if I do this, like, whoa, look at the size of this mackerel I caught. It's bigger than my head. No, it's not. Little trick.
Damn.
Out there. Thank you for the super chat. That's why I give you some free advice. Happy with the win. Game ball goes to Robert Spillane. Spillane, 7 total tackles, 4 solo, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss, 1 pass batted down, and a super, super boner-inducing interception at an extremely clutch time. I think that's fair. I think it's fair to go game ball to Spillane. I think if the game ball goes to Spillane, then AJ Cole gets Jimmy Garoppolo's like VIP pass to the Spearmint Rhino. So I think AJ Cole needs something.
Oh, the Peppermint Hippo.
Peppermint Hippo.
You been there?
No. I thought it was just I thought it was just like a play on words. I didn't know it was actually a real place.
It's real. It's pretty badass.
It's in Vegas?
Dude, yes, in Vegas.
I thought I've been to every strip club in Vegas.
No. We'll go to the Peppermint Hippo. I went with Brian. And oh my God. I don't know where it was, dude. I just figured
there this
got in a cab. Yeah, go to the Peppermint Hippo. It's nice. It's good. It's a good spot. Nothing but like Asians and like big booty Cuban chicks. It's freaking amazing.
Oh, no wonder you love it.
Oh, so good.
It should be called
yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, RJ. You'll hate it. You don't like big butts.
Gross. Disgusting. Let's talk about Davante Adams. No touchdowns. That touchdown drought, I don't think that's 6 games now. But he did get over 60 yards for the first time in 5 or 6 games. 6 receptions, 86 yards. And they were some clutch ones. That 42-yarder was beautiful. In the first quarter, he had a couple really amazing catches. It felt like Favre was still kind of getting his feet under him because they were like in his general vicinity, but like kind of bad throws, like a little off target. But that's what you have to do when you're being paid $1 bajillion and you're a 6-time Pro Bowler and you have a rookie quarterback. Like you need to fill in those gaps, and he did. Chef's kiss, beautifully.
Yeah, man. To be fair, Favre put those balls where only Devante Adams could catch him, and he was covered pretty well, especially that one-handed catch. Yeah.
Does that work with it? Never mind. Yeah, if you can somehow pull your dick away from your body at arm's distance, it would look bigger.
I'll let you. I'll give you a pass on that one.
I'll put it this way: it only works with unsolicited dick pics. When they ask for it, doesn't work.
Now you're becoming a little bit. You're pushing the envelope a little bit.
That's what we do here. The Autumn Windbags, Raider Nation. Yeah, the best Davante Adams game in 6 games. Something like
RJ,
that. Does it? Breakfast buffet.
I'll tell you what. There's a super shady strip club near us in Stanton. Okay, everybody.
The only strip clubs in Stanton are super shady.
Listen to me.
They range from
Everybody
super
out
shady
there.
to extremely shady to it's just a front.
I want you to Google Venus Strip Club in Stanton, California. That place is the shadiest of shady, but they had like an amazing buffet. Chicken wings were good. The meatball subs were freaking delicious.
It doesn't even have a website. It just has like a Yelp page and a Foursquare.
Dude, it's so the food was so good. Because like in the back, it's like a sports bar. They have all these TVs and they have like an actual bar in the back. And then on the front part of it, it's like a strip club, whatever, a stage in the strip club. And we used to have our fantasy football drafts there. And man, the buffet was amazing. Venus Lounge, baby. On beach.
Bomb food, full bar, pool tables. Maybe.
We should check it out. We'll go with Brian.
I do like me a shady strip club. When it's too nice, you're just like, oh, $50 cover, $73 for a drink, $200 for like, all right. Give me a nice shady strip club. I want a strip club that like is a dive bar. That's the way to go.
London Raider, I had a full Thanksgiving dinner in a strip club in Pattaya in Thailand. I don't doubt it. The Thai know how to do it.
Are you sure it was turkey? How about the Heidi game intro? Like they were so desperate to find like an interesting storyline for this game because it was, 2 500 teams, 2 bad offenses. Like, how can we make this game interesting? Oh yeah, remember like 40 years ago when we didn't watch the end of the game? That's what we're going to talk about. It is still a pretty legendary game.
It was hilarious. 55 years ago, man. That's crazy.
55.
Well, look, my chick was over here watching the game with me, and she doesn't know anything about football, So she's like on her phone. I go, oh, they're winning, cool. She'll cheer for me because she wants to see me happy, right?
Yeah.
She didn't know anything about freaking Heidi game. She doesn't know anything about that. But it told the story so well that she got it. She's like, wait a second. So they just stopped showing the game to show this stupid movie? And I'm like, yeah. They did exactly that. So the story was told really well.
Welcome to the 70s. So the Raiders back at 500. 5-5. Antonio Pierce 2-0. Favre 2-1. We're one game back as of the 7th seed in the AFC playoffs. Momentum, optimism, improvement. Again, we just got finished with the soft part of our schedule, right? So we beat a great defense, terrible offense, but we found a way to win. We found a way to win. And just like against the Giants, it wasn't like Favre had to put the game on his shoulders and throw for 350. Josh Jacobs had to put the game on his shoulders and rush for 175 and 3 touchdowns. Maxx Crosby didn't get, 3 strip sacks to seal us the game. It was a well-coached, well-executed team win, which was great to see.
It's complimentary football. It wasn't great football. It was kind of it was exciting for us because, we're highly invested in the outcome of the game. But if you're watching the game as an outsider, it was a pretty bad game. But it got great at the end. It got really exciting at the end. And honestly, it was one thing I want to talk about. What do you think about that third down call at the end of the game? That throw
the ball?
that both tight ends were in the area and they got knocked out.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that could not have been the play call to have both tight ends within 18 inches of each other, right? It reminded me of that game last year with Renfro and Davante when they ran into each other. There's no way that's the play call. Someone didn't execute. I didn't mind the play call, right? You get that first down, right? You're in great shape.
I thought the play call was fine. I thought the execution was shite, but the play call was fine. We weren't really getting any push running the ball. I mean, both tight ends were open. I mean, if the end made a great play knocking that ball, that was an amazing play by that end knocking the ball down. But if the ball would have been completed, it would have been another 5-6 yards down the field, and we got the first down. But yeah, good call, bad execution.
I really wonder what our record would be if we would have fired Josh McDaniels in the offseason. Even if it just was all right, Antonio, he wouldn't have been the coach, but if it was been Antonio Pierce and Bo from the beginning.
Look, we wouldn't have lost to the Steelers. I'll tell you that.
We wouldn't have lost to the Chargers.
Yeah, that's 2 more wins at least. I would just say I would stop right there. I don't even give us the Bears loss. I'll give us the Bears and Lions loss. I'll give those up.
And Bills.
That's fine. And Bills. Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with those. But yeah, I would think we'd be probably with 7-3.
So it's like I said in the pregame show for this Jets game. The Giants game was the honeymoon. We talk about it, or the wedding night, right? When it comes to getting laid as your new interim coach, you fire a coach mid-season. It happens all the time where the players or the team wins the next game because it's ding dong, the witch is dead. We're all rejuvenated. Jeff freaking Saturday won his first game, right? Never won another one, right? That happens semi-regularly. The second game's the honeymoon. Now you're traveling together. It's still all sunshine and rainbows. We're getting wild in the bedroom. We're drinking. Love is still in the air. But now we're traveling. Oh, she snores. Oh, man, she's kind of a bitch when we're in the air. Things like that. But, hey, we're still great, right? That was the Jets. Now we're back home. Against Miami, honeymoon is over. Now it's, we got to balance our budget. Oh, you have how much student debt? Oh, geez, you don't know how to barbecue? She finds out you're a terrible handyman and you can't fix anything. Can you keep going? Can you keep going? Because now it's Dolphins, Chiefs, bye, the hottest team in football, Vikings, Chargers who already beat us, Chiefs on Christmas, Colts who are starting to get back together, and the Broncos who we always beat, but they just beat the Chiefs. The honeymoon is officially over. I'm not being doomy and gloomy. I'm just telling you, the natural progression that we always knew about, now is the time to hunker down. Now, the wedding night's over. The honeymoon's over. We're going to work. We're paying bills. We're talking about, I thought you wanted 4 kids. No, I only wanted 2. We're having those fights. Can we still keep this momentum going? Can the Antonio Pierce hyped up, feel good gin and juice, to steal a term that you used, Soto? I love that phrase that you came up with all by yourself.
What was that?
Gin and juice. Instead of just bringing the juice, bringing the
terrible.
gin and juice. That was a great, great line by you, Soto. I'm not going to let it die because I love it so much. We'll probably make a T-shirt out of it one day. And it'll say Soto. It'll say gin and juice in quotes - Soto. So make sure we properly credit you.
So bad.
But that's where we're at now. We are now married to Antonio Pierce. Honeymoon is over. Let's hunker down and keep the momentum going accordingly.
That's going to be it's a tougher 5-game stretch than what it was maybe 3 games ago.
Mm-hmm.
We have to figure out a way to deal with the speed of the Dolphins offense.
Yeah.
It's going to be an issue. It's going to be a good test for Patrick Graham because Mike McDaniel he's a pretty smart dude. He knows how to get the ball to his playmakers out in space. So it's a road game, it's an early game in the road. It's going to be a lot of things going against us. So I just want to make sure that we're all clear on this, that the baby steps are done. No more baby steps.
Time to crawl. We're out of the crib. We're crawling. And we better start running because, boy, can those Dolphins run. They might be fish, but they can run. But that's for tomorrow to worry about. Today, celebrate. Give your kids a hug. Kiss your wife. Open a cocktail. Enjoy the victory. Lord knows we've had enough pain and suffering so far in just half a season. We'll enjoy the W's when they come. Thank you, Devante Adams, for your 86 yards and 2 or 3 amazing catches. Aiden O'Connell for progressing as a rookie and looking fantastic along the way. Josh Jacobs, congratulations for getting over 100 yards rushing for the first time this season. Robert Spillane, here is your game ball. Keep jacking that ball away. Thank you very much. AJ Cole, thank you for being maybe the best player at his position in all of NFL. Like any position in football, AJ Cole might be so much further ahead of everyone else. More than Patrick Mahomes as quarterback, more than Maxx Crosby as a defender, more than like Tyreek Hill as a wide receiver. Like he may be so better as a punter than any player is at their position. And of course, Daniel Carlson, money, cha-ching, every single time. God bless you 53 men and coaching staff. That's it for us. We'll keep you abreast of everything this week. We'll do our regular show recorded Wednesday for Thursday as always. We'll have our post-game show for the Dolphins. We'll have a preview show for the Dolphins. Any big news that happens along the way. All those good things. But until then, knock on wood if you're with me. Hey, you made it to the end of our video. Great job. I know you want more. Go ahead and click the next video. And if you're feeling crazy, go ahead and subscribe.